everybody, it's MicheleMarieDalene. Let me plug in my microphone. And unplug for a second because Dory is laying on the couch. And there we go. So now you can hear me. How you doing, Dory?
Good. How is everybody doing?
And we have our one watcher on already. And today we are going to be focusing on a variety of topics. So one, of course, is the storm has affected. What is it called there? That city there? No, not Bayport. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that city there, Rockport, Texas. It did a real number on the city. A lot of significant damage was done. At the time it hit Rockport, Texas, it was a Category 4. I've been following the reports in KSAN from Texas regarding the storm. And as you can hear, Dory has the fan on, which I really don't think she needs, but oh well, I digress. That's just the way Dory does things around here. And so how's your arm doing?
Better.
Okay, she's laying on the couch, by the way. You probably can see her in the distance if I move my skull.
No, yeah. I don't want people to see me.
Yeah, they can just barely see your head in the picture. It's barely visible from the couch. That's where she is. I asked her friend if she wanted to lay down on the couch or she wanted to be in the video, and she said that she would like to be in the video, but she didn't really want to be in the video visually because she's kind of just chilling out and playing her game at the same time on her phone. And so that's where she is. She's on the couch. And check to make sure everything is good and ready and hot and excellent. And as far as I can see, everything looks good volume level wise. And so let's get this guy on the road here. I'll turn this line level on here. And we had some background music today from the YouTube channel library for your enjoyment. We figured we'd do something a little different. How you doing, Dory?
Good. How is everybody doing?
And we have our one watcher on already. And today we are going to be focusing on. And obviously, I can hear myself in the background. So the storm. You're in Google Hangouts. That's right. Yeah. What is it called? So we know the sound's working. So let's turn this down so we can increase the audio flow. Okay, that's better. And of course, this is brought to you, of course, by YouTube, and we are using FMLE this time. So, like before, and switch to night mode. In what the hell is that? I have no idea. What is night mode in YouTube gaming? I have no idea. Okay, so anyway, to make a long story short, I'm going to switch back to FMLE. I'm going to do my usual here and try to adjust the picture so I can see the questions and answers. Just like normal, you guys have questions, and we will do our best to answer them in real time. And of course, if there's a lot of questions coming at one time, please understand that we only can answer so fast. So we have one watcher at this point, and I want to say to the one watcher, Hail Mary to all of you, and as we are trying some new stuff, new experiments with the software. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and we'll be doing new things as we go. And of course, we have, like I said, with Rockport, Texas, the significance of the weather alone is becoming questionable. How bad is this going to be for people in Rockport, Texas? Let's put it this way: the Rockport, Texans have suffered dramatically due to the events of the storm system. It has really taken its toll on the people in Rockport. So yes, it is a really serious event. Fortunately, as we understand it, very few lives were lost. It seems the people had made a common sense decision to not get themselves into a bit of a pickle. You ever tried pop-up chat? No, I didn't. Okay, so I switched pop-up chat on. Let's move this thing. You're in the wrong program. Oh, I'm in the right program. What the hell did you put it back in there? Alright, okay, good question. Alright, so So anybody who has questions, of course, you are welcome to ask them, as we will be accepting your answers, and things like that as well. So yes, we have 2 microphones on, and we have mine and we have Dory's, so you can hear Dory and you can hear me clearly. So let's get some conversation going, boys and girls. Let's find out what the world's going on, and share this link with your friends and family, and of course everybody else out there as well. Right now I see the problem with this program doesn't show you the live stream. You are live though. I know I am. So let me switch over to the dashboard so I can see it that way, because that one shows more details at a glance than the other program does, other page does. So let me switch over to that. So live streaming. Okay, I am live, and the stream health is taking its sweet ass time to show you the report. Yeah, definitely is showing me that we are live at 26. Frame rate is what? 13, 16, 26, 20, 26 frames per second. Yeah, okay, so we're on. And there's me. I don't really want to see me. I don't need to see me. Okay, I know I'm live. So, so we have 0 watchers right now. But we know you guys will be watching in a little bit. I'm waiting for the first few people to come in with questions. So let me just let people know. Okay, we are taking online questions. So we are taking online questions, and to post them to YouTube, you have to be a YouTube subscriber, which means that, what I mean by that is not necessarily subscribing to my channel, but rather you have to be a member of the YouTube community to receive the questions. Otherwise, it ain't going to work for you or anyone else, and that's the reason why we have to be aware of that. So if you are asking questions, you want to ask questions, this is your chance to do so, as we will be. Okay, so we have Barb just says, I'm watching. Okay, Barb, welcome. How is the individual who asks to remain nameless feeling today? And you know what I'm talking about. So how's she doing right now? She told me in a message she's out of the hospital, but I don't know anything else about her situation. But anyway, we have 1 watcher, and we did put a request out for Amber. No, you didn't. What? You didn't send a message to Amber at all. I didn't. No. I didn't? No. You didn't send a message to Amber or to the woman that wants to remain nameless. Well, let's change that, shall we? So let's go ahead and send out a message to 2 people and have them join us. Now, last time we did a live question show, we ended up basically just me and Barb were on, and nobody else was, and it was really, really boring. And so this time, I'd like to kind of remind everybody that we are looking for your questions, and we hope to have you guys on the air. So, and for those of you who are looking at my head, I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to get all this stuff done one time. So let's send a message. I have to send these messages to these peoples individually for reasons that the peoples that I'm sending these messages to both have asked for confidentiality, which only adds to the. So first we'll send this to the. Oh man, you know what I don't like about this program? What? How the hell do you know what you're typing to? What? I mean, I'm sorry to say it that way, but I mean, like, how you know what you're typing to? What does every now and then this mouse do stupid shit? Okay, there we go. I'm gonna try it again. Okay, so apparently I forgot to select the person's name, so let me type it in here again. kind of strange the way that works. Whoa. Wait a minute. It's not even an email. No, it's not. You know, there's sending an email to. That's an embedding tab. There we go. Okay, so let me send it to. Okay. Bing. Okay. So send that one out to her. And then we'll send the other one out to Amber, and then we'll get these guys all on the same page. And today's topic will be about things like, we're talking about things like Amber. Yep. Send email. Okay, cool. Alright, so now that's hot. That's hot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to the dashboard YouTube, and so anyway, Dory, you want to talk about anything while I do all this finagling with the computer? Oh, she's and that's, oh, jeez, that's one of her other videos. Yeah, I know, it's okay. Oh, wait a minute. What are you doing, computer? I hate when this computer gets ideas. It's the stupid stuff when you least expect it. I don't know if it's a mouse thing or the keyboard thing. Well, speaking of the keyboard, let's tuck the thing out of the way before we accidentally knock somebody offline, mainly me. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to live stream, and so that we can read the questions and answers. Okay, so right now we have 0 people watching at this point, and I guess it doesn't surprise me. This software, oh, wait, okay, just borrow my knee. It says, we have friends who used to floating with no property damage so far. That's good. I'm glad to hear that, Barb, and I have to admit that would really suck to see damage done to people's homes. I've been watching XAN TV news about the storms and how it's been affecting people, and it's pretty significant, especially Rockport, which saw so much rain, and they were at the peak of the Category 4 part of the storm. It was enormously powerful, and every now and then the computer gets ideas. Stop doing stupid stuff, computer. Okay, thank you. Alright, so now I shall put this mouse carefully away so it doesn't type anymore. Okay, so, she's very weak and fragile, talking about the woman who refuses to be named. The, Barb says, I am glad many chose to not to shelter in place. Absolutely, I am very glad they didn't either. I am also very glad that President Trump, unlike George W. Bush, got on the bandwagon and the ball before the storm even came in, and mobilized over 3,000 National Guardsmen into the Texas area of Corpus Christi, which means that those people were spared from the worst of the damage. And it looks like Dory had decided to take off again, so I'm going to just turn her sound down so we can hear me and not have to listen to Dory or to listen to the fan in the background. We have 3 microphones in here, but we don't have one on right now. And she says here, if I select the beads, can Dory make a rosary for me to give to a student? That's a good question. But right now Dory's at the moment is in the bathroom. When she comes out, I will ask her that. It's funny watching Jim Cantori on the Weather Channel. Why would you say that? The fact that the Weather Channel either makes it look like it's, they always usually show up either right before the storm does major colossal damage, or they end up like in hurricanes. But if you watch the reporter from KSAN, they really, KXAN, he was a meteorologist. He was holed up in the Fairfield Inn in the town of Rockport. Well, at the peak of the storm, there was a serious amount of weather damage done to the motel, causing them having to leave the motel, because even though the motel was a new building and it was structurally designed for Category 5, it didn't quite fare as well as it could have with the Harvzilla. The Harvzilla just demonstrated just how powerful of a storm it really was. For those of you who don't know where the Harvzilla reference comes from, it's from Sabrina, the animated series. Harvey created a comic book character. Oh, actually, he ended up becoming something like the Harvzilla from the cartoon. It's really kind of interesting. It's like a Godzilla reference. Quite a cool thing to watch. Let's see. Yeah, Bush just totally screwed up that pooch. No kidding. In fact, like I said, this is one thing that I think is going to be a very positive thing for Donald Trump. Is at least this is his Katrina, and he didn't mess it up this time. That's a great thing. I'm glad to hear, as I said, that he, from the very beginning, was very proactive and got involved with that. Dory, you coming out?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, because you had a question about, somebody asked, if they select the beads, could you make a custom rosary necklace for them?
Hang on, right there.
All right, she'll be right out, Barbara, to answer your question. And let's see here now. He's so enthusiastic. You mean with Donald Trump being enthusiastic? Like in, I think he's very proactive. I think he's doing a fantastic job. Because it's amazing that the good Lord gave him this opportunity to show the way he's going to deal with it. It's going to save his reputation for, as far as the leftists are concerned, because it's going to demonstrate to them that he knows what he's doing. He's proactive. He's on the ball. He knows the situation with the weather. And so, yeah, I think he's doing a great job. Oh, Tim Cantori's so enthusiastic. Well, I didn't watch Jim Cantori, but what is he doing? Is he, when you say he's so enthusiastic, I mean the way he's talking about the storm and the way it makes almost like the storm seem like he won the Super Bowl kind of thing, where he's got a big, like he feels like his team won the Chicago Cubs won the World Series, kind of enthusiastic. Yay, we won! For the first time in 100 years, we won! Or is he a little more like, oh, this is so cool! I don't know what it is. Okay, so full-on goggles and rain gear. Oh, obviously.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, so let me get back to you. I'm going to turn the sound back on for Dory on the couch, because she's going to answer your question, Barbara, about your beads. Hold on a minute, please. Let me get this. Okay, Dory, go ahead.
Hi, Barbara. This is Dory.
She wanted to know if she sends you some custom beads, if you can make her a rosary.
Yeah.
She wants to make one for a student.
Sure. No problem.
And to send the beads to her, you just send them to Dory Myville. That's DoryMivile. And that's at 112 Main Street, apartment number 9 in Winsted, Connecticut. 06098 says Dory Myville, 112 Main Street, apartment number 9 in Winsted, Connecticut. Sorry about that, I turned the sound up, my mistake, Barb. So that's who you send your beads to, and she will put them together for you. Now, Dory, when you make the rosary, do you make it as best as possible, as close to what an actual rosary beads are?
Yes, I make them as best as I can, as close as I can to what they are. And if you're gonna send them, I'm gonna need a separator for the beads, because it goes like, I can't explain.
Right, it's got a glory to, it's got a glory to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, then it's followed by the 10 Hail Marys. And then at the center, you got it's a crucifix going down. So, and then of course at the end they got the crescent.
Okay,
yeah. I can help her figure out the rosary because I used to have one. So, because I'm Catholic anyway. All right, so let's take a look at here. Yeah, and then she was talking about Jim Cantori of the Weather Channel. It seems like he's so enthusiastic to be out in the hurricane when he came into Rockport, Texas. Yeah, you know, I'm also very excited about the weather that's predicted for the end of September in our area of the country. First of all, let's talk about the weather forecast in our area right now for the next few days. It is definitely going to be a lot cooler than expected. Okay, it may be next month. Give me time to heal and time for me to get to the bead maker. Okay, separator. How many separators do you need?
I'm
gonna say since there's I'd say, Barbara, if you want to consider maybe using smaller beads for a separator, I would say probably a pack of 20, maybe.
Yeah, I would say a pack of 20.
A pack of 20 little separators.
Yeah.
And then the beads that would be for the Hail Mary and the Glory to the Father would be bigger beads. Now, is your student got a visual impairment? Because as a legally blind person, I've always found it easier to have bigger beads for doing the actual Glory to the Fathers and the Holy Queens, because you got too small. They're hard to see, because I don't know how much sight that your student has. So you might want to let me know if they need beads to be set up for larger, so they can easily have tactile touch. Okay, so what's your good for weather? Okay, Dory, you knew that right now the weather outside is a little bit cooler than normal.
Yeah.
And did you know that they already saying that we're having September's weather right now here at late August?
Yes.
And did you hear that we may, several projections show that we may be having a very cool September this year?
Yep.
And something that you can't stand.
I can't stand winter.
Well, guess what? I love it. So, okay, so she says, okay, sounds good. I have a rosary I can count the beads on and another rosary, okay. Okay, great idea about the bead size. Not a problem. I figure you might want to know about that, because some people do need bigger beads for a variety of reasons, for especially people who have mobility issues or with their fingers or something. They might need something bigger so they can easily manipulate the beads. And also, of course, the legally blind and the blind don't necessarily look at the bead colors. They go by feel. I know that when my rosary, the ones I had, they had beads and then they're on little chain links, and so they're easy to notice the difference. And I can hear Dory sounds like she's a little bit unhappy.
I don't like winter.
Yeah, but you only have to deal with winters 3 months out of the year. And with the however, there's a wrinkle to that due to the new climate change, because of the global, the solar minimum. There is going to be a longer winter. Like weather. I wouldn't say winter itself is going to be any longer, because winter still occurs from December 21st until March 21st, 22nd of each year. So chronologically, the winter will be the same amount of time, but we may have a cooler end of summer and, of course, a cooler fall. Don't forget, we have September 21st is the beginning of Mabon, which is autumn, and, of course, that ends, as I said, on December 20th, December 21st, which is Yule, and then Yule goes into Estore, which is the beginning of spring, which later goes into Litha, which is summer. So, yes, it's going to be a really exciting time. Okay, she says, I love winter also, Barb says. Let me ask you a question, Dory. What is it about winter you don't like?
The cold.
You don't like the cold. What exactly about the cold don't you like?
I just don't like it. I just don't like it. It's long and depressing.
It gets me all excited and happy. Yay! I love it. I love when it's cold and snowy. And yes, I've been outside in the cold and snow. I've actually been outside buck naked and trapped in the snow. It's the truth. Absolutely. And of course, it's also when I get most of my energy too. Our cooler weather usually lasts from October through mid-March. Yeah, we have something similar to that here. Our cooler weather starts around the end of September and goes through before winter, since we're talking about autumn, from pretty much from Mabon to SRA. Okay, but since winter is its own season, pretty much our season starts around September 21st. And works our way up to the Yule. It gets colder still, and then after Yule, around March, SRA starts to get warm again, or Stara. It's kind of interesting. You can call the spring two different wiki names, SRA and Stara, which means basically the same thing, the beginning of spring. I love all the clothes. Winter clothes are the best. Yeah, I love the fact that in the wintertime is keeping cool is an easier thing than summer. Summer is almost impossible. Now that my landlord fixed my thermostat, so I get central heating in here now after all these years. It turns out that somebody in the building long ago had cut my thermostat wire, and we found the broken wire pieces. After 10 years of using electric space heaters, we finally, last year, were able to cut our electric bill because we're using the boiler now, after over 10 years. So that was a great thing for me, was to have the cooler weather and still being able to fire up the boiler. Now in Connecticut, you don't really turn the heat on until around, was it October 31st?
Something like that.
What's that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when usually when the law says we have to turn the heat on in Connecticut. Please understand, in Connecticut, they don't seem to say anything about how cold it has to be, which is kind of stupid, because if we're going to be having a solar minimum and temperatures are going to be seriously cooler than normal for a lot of people, where temperatures go below 10 degrees Celsius, and that is going to mean that there's going to be need to modify that law, specifically based to include temperatures as well, saying possibly the temperature must not be below 10 degrees Celsius, no matter what time of year it is. Some of the landlords may not like that, but that's the way it is. Is the boiler the same as steam heat? Well, the boiler is used for steam heat too. We have hot water heat, which means it uses this boiler. It's the same kind as the steam boiler, except the temperature of the water is a lot colder. It's about 180 degrees Fahrenheit for the water temperature, and it goes through with circulators, hot water circulators that puts them through hot water baseboards. And also, of course, steam heat usually doesn't need a circulator pump, because the steam itself provides its own motions as it becomes a gaseous form, where the volume of water is increased by volume 6,400 times when boiling. So that high pressure steam, with typical boiler or water pressure, steam pressure going into most homes is about 1 psig going up. But in some of the Midwest states, you see more steam heat because it produces more BTUs per hour of energy transfer. But we have a hot water heat fired by a gas boiler. Conversion originally was an oil boiler. So yeah, it's kind of the same thing, but the boilers just have a lower temperature. So you know. My home is built in 1877 as a wonderful steam heat radius, which is pretty interesting for a place that actually is in Tennessee. I know Tennessee can get cold. Now, you heat with oil or natural gas in your home, because I know Tennessee can get cold, but I'm surprised that you even have steam heat. They do have, of course, hot water radiators that are also used as well. They look almost like steam radiators, but they're a little bit different. They're the way the radiators are assembled. some of the apartments downstairs have the older steam hot water radiators, and of course we have the hot water convectors or baseboards up here. So, so in our building, our furnace was converted from oil to natural gas. It still can be running oil too, because you just got to go ahead and put the oil burner back in. It just slides right back in and then it bolts in place. And the oil tank is still in the basement. They converted the furnace about 3 years ago. But putting in a gas gun type burner instead. So you can basically unscrew the gas burner and put an oil burner in its place if necessary. I don't see why my landlord would anyway, because he told me he said he saw the heating bill drop by more than 75% by switching to natural gas heat. So I don't think he's going to go back to oil anytime soon. I said steam heat for heat in my restored home, but most have natural gas heat. Yeah, well, we have a natural gas fired boiler in the cellar, so that's just really an oil burner that just took the burner up and replaced it with a gas burner. Which is nice because my landlord didn't have to worry about running out of heating oil in the middle of winter time. So Joey, what kind of heat do you kind of like? Do you like oil heat or gas heat or electric heat?
Gas.
Gas heat. Because it's convenient for you because you don't have to worry about keep telling them to fill the tank.
Right.
Or get on a monthly automatic delivery system. See, right now where she was just living, they had oil heat, and it was costing them a lot of money to heat the apartment. And up here in New England, a lot of places have oil heat. And some places are now switching to gas. But not everybody did yet. So, I find that I like that. I have to admit, I like the hot air. I like the hot water system we have because it's quiet. I mean, steam can be quiet too, as long as the system is properly maintained and everything is balanced right. So in that case, you don't necessarily get those bang clanging radiators and stuff. But if your radiators are not properly balanced and pitched, they can go make a racket, and that's the truth. Whereas with the hot water heat is pretty much quiet. Unfortunately, because hot water heat like we have uses electric circulator pumps, and of course the gas burner has electric ignition. You can't run a boiler without electricity. Some older gas boilers use pilots and what they call a millivolt thermopile system. In that case, the thermostat would actually take the voltage generated from a thermocouple that was being heated by a pilot, and it would still be controlled by the steam pressure control to make sure that the pressure didn't go above a certain pressure, and maintain the boiler's steam production operation. So technically, a gas-fired steam boiler can pretty much run on the millivolt voltage range. Not very common anymore, but it could be done that way if it really, really floated your boat. Let's see. So I do have natural gas kitchen and outdoor kitchen. Steam heat keeps my skin so moisturized. Yeah, it does. It also keeps down static discharge too. So, like in the wintertime, if you try to rub a sweater against your hair to generate a static cling, you don't really get that effect as much because steam heat keeps the moisture in the air so that the static charge doesn't make. Oh, but make sure to do this once a year: is have your HVAC technician make sure that the boiler is operating optimally, and also make sure he flushes out any corrosion and make sure put some fresh anti-corrosion inhibitor in the steam boiler to make sure your pipes will stay good longer. So it's easy enough to do. Your HVAC technician, if he knows anything about the steam system, will know what to do to make sure your steam boiler stays in tip-top shape. I have on-demand hot water. Yeah, we have. Oh, wait a minute. We don't have on-demand. We have a standard boiler heated hot water for the building. It's a huge 66-gallon tank for the apartments, and we never really ran out of hot water much. Unless somebody else downstairs, like a couple people, like early in the morning, take multiple showers going at one time. Usually the building has plenty of hot water, so that's a plus. It solves one problem. Yes, yeah, that's good. She has a contract for HVAC technician to maintain her gear. Absolutely good. Now, I was hoping to see if other people were going to join us today, but I don't see anybody. I wonder where they are. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know either. Let's see. Frame rate looks pretty good. Alright, so, you want to say anything, Dory? You want to talk about questions or anything? You want to talk about anything?
If people are interested in my jewelry, please let me know, and I'm gonna start doing it again because my hand's starting to feel pretty better. So if anybody's interested, please let me know.
Okay, and of course, as I said here, is that I'm doing these videos pretty much by myself here. And how did they reach you, Dory?
You can reach me at Dory Myville, Torrington@gmail.com.
Or Facebook.
Facebook.
At Dory Wysocki. Wysocki is her maiden name. Myville was her late husband's name. What are your thoughts on the Trump's transgender ban? She's talking about the Trump's transgender ban in the military. Do you think it is a gateway to banning gays? Well, here's the thing with some people, the transgender community joined into the military specifically because somehow the military offered them free transsexual operations to convert from male to female, female to male. And that kind of only added more complexities because somehow they said, well, now since you're a military veteran, you are entitled to free surgery to change your sex from male to female, female to male. It's different if the transgender said is once you receive your payments each month from your wages, if you want to save for that procedure on your own, that's fine. But because of the issue that Obama also unfortunately did with the issue of the bathrooms in the public schools, a lot of people in the military realized that out in the battlefield there was no way that they could have transgender, trans men, trans women using the same outhouse. So it was just easier for the time being to basically say, nope, we're not going there. If you're coming in this military just to get a free snip, it ain't gonna happen. If you're coming in to really support your country, and you understand that for now you're just gonna have to be comfortable with your skin you're in, we'll let you serve. So I don't think it's gonna get as bad as don't ask, don't tell. And I think at the same time, I don't know if that's necessarily the best bet, but I think that they would have to go ahead and specifically say in the recruitment contract is, we are not paying for your surgery. So if you want to join as a transgender into the military, that's fine, but you have to pay for the surgery out of your own tab, as well as any other kind of medical follow-ups. We're not doing that. Okay? But look how much trouble that we've already gotten into with the transgender issues in the public school systems in many states, which the left has been pushing the agenda business. I'm not sure why they've been pushing it so hard. Some say Michelle is transgendered, Michelle Obama. I don't personally care if she's transgendered or not. Joan Rivers herself brought that up. Everybody's accusing Alex Jones. Alex Jones did not bring it up first. Joan Rivers did. She brought it up to Entertainment Tonight, I believe, which totally surprised the reporters that she would say that, because they asked her, when do you think we may have our first gay president in the White House? And she said, she already do. And they said, what? Because Michelle Obama is transgender. And first she said transsexual. And then she changed it to transgender. So that was what Joan Rivers had said. And I think as far as, it's one of those things that's hard to say if I'm pro or anti. Because, I mean, I'm a hermaphrodite. I was born the way I am, okay? And when the transgender win they, with the rights that they have won, helps my people too, the hermaphrodites, because we have been really, unfortunately, affected just as much by people coming out and the way people were treated, and the huge amounts of discrimination against transgendered. The hermaphrodites are not immune to it. We get kicked to the curb every time that somebody says, "Oh, you're a hermaphrodite." What does that mean? What is that related to, say, homosexuals and transgendered? I mean, did you have surgery? I mean, are you really supposed to be one and the other? I mean, that's what I'm saying. So it gets kind of complicated. At this point, I would say is no, I don't think it's going to immediately result in another don't ask, don't tell, but I can't say. I don't have absolute proof. Well, let's see. And she says, and that is insane for the military to be paying for surgery. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's, I mean, look, it would be just as insane for, for some, in the state of California, I think it was, they paid for prisoner surgery to become from a man to woman. And this guy was in jail for life. So, again, you got this question is if you really seriously want to think about it is, if you're sitting in prison for life for a crime, why should we have to pay for your procedure? I mean, I'm not talking about just giving them, hormones. I'm talking about a procedure that can cost as much as, depending on the person, as much as $100,000. It's a lot of work that's done. It's not just one piece of surgery called a step. And it's just really expensive. I just can't see the best way to go about it. She says, I don't want my daughter using a restroom with a boy. A lot of parents feel that way. Even as hermaphrodites feel that way. We're not sure what these people's, if the person is necessarily, doesn't have ulterior motives. Dory and I have talked about this. We have discussed it with a video with Hansi about this exact topic. And one of the things that we all kind of agreed with is if we know that the hermaphrodite / transgendered person is going in there to do their biological functions, walk out of the stall, wash their hands, and leave. That's not a problem. The thing is that I'm concerned about is you're going to have a few people that are not so well behaved. And those people are the ones that are going to make everybody's lives a living hell, because they potentially start exploiting their privilege and start making everybody else's life uncomfortable. Those are the ones I'm concerned about. It's not those that are doing things properly and respectfully. So it's really kind of hard to say which is the best way to go about it, because there are some people that are, as I said, living fair and living and doing the best they can. But then there are people who are just flaming assholes. Point blank average. It says, yeah, I consider elective surgery and shouldn't be covered. I also think what's elective surgery is trying for parents to try to change the gender of androgynous children when they're born. There are some children, like hermaphrodites, that are surgically altered without the child's permission. The child never has a chance to say if they really rather stay what they are or if they want to be changed to a boy or a girl. I think in that case that the child, unless it's really, really life-threatening, should be allowed to make that decision when they reach a certain age of consent, when they can actually say, well, you know what, I really think I should have been changed to a boy or a girl, but now I'm going to need some financial assistance. Maybe I can get something from a bank, or I can get some program can be created to give them a low-interest loan or rate to get it done. But we should not be giving them free surgical intervention through Medicare, Medicaid, when Medicare, Medicaid can't afford to do it right now. It's just not enough money going in there, and especially now that Obamacare is collapsing, we really can't afford to do it. So obviously, if you're gainfully employed and you're making an income, and you got these big fancy house, and you already get your mortgage all paid off. So why don't you go ahead refi now and season your house mortgage to pay for the procedure? If you really think, you see, remember when you get past a certain age, it really kind of becomes a point. For example, in my case, I'm 49 years old. If I was a trans woman at 49 years old, I'm not going to benefit by getting the big snip, okay? I would basically be throwing money away because I'm already past my youth. Would be past my prime, and that would make no sense at all. It's be a waste of resources. I'm less worried about danger. I'm talking about school age. Yes. School age kids. The teasers. The bullies. Yeah, definitely. The young boys and girls in school. But some of the dangers and some of the damages that the public curricula is doing to these kids now is astronomical in leftist-leaning communities. Some kids can't determine if they're supposed to be boys or girls. And it's not right. It's now the whole textbooks have to be rewritten because who knows if you're a boy or girl anymore? Those people can't tell. This is the reason why people see it's admissible. It's like, how am I supposed to know if I'm a boy or girl? Good question. I can't tell you because I'm not you. You know, but still, you know, it's pretty scary, putting it bluntly. That you know, that situation is just nuts. I agree about the person being allowed to change gender. Oh, I don't mind them changing gender. The big snip might benefit someone psychologically, but not. Right, I agree with that. Even for some hermaphrodites, we have learned something very important. You want to explain it, Lem? Yeah, sure. You gotta love the skin you're in. It's just because it's part of your life. It's who you are. You need to love the skin you're in. If you have self-hatred, then it means that there's something more about your self-worth that's more telling than the fact that there's self-loathing and self-hatred. So you need to learn to love the skin you're in. It's what you're born. It's who you are. Okay. So like in Michelle's case, I mean, she's still a hermaphrodite. She's not been modified in any way. She's pure. 100% Hebrew national pure. Kosher, 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 all the way through. No additives, colors, fillers, or no additives, colors, fillers, or preservatives. So it's 100% pure kosher. Because I have to abide by a higher authority. Amen. That's the truth. So, and even psychologically, we don't know if that's really necessarily going to stop anything. Because some of the people who have done the big snip have said, you know, I don't think this is worth it. Well, it's too late now. Well, then maybe for some people, maybe it just isn't worth doing it. You need to learn to love the skin you're in. You're only on this earth for maybe like 100, maybe 90 to 100 years anyway. And then when you come back, when you go home to the other side, you can always request to come back as another sex. Right, you can always come back as a man if you're a woman, or a woman if you're a man, or come back the same sex you are now. Maybe there's a reason why you had this in your life chart, this feeling of gender dysphoria. Maybe this is because it's supposed to be a learning experience for you to grow up to be more compassionate for others that are different. And that's not easy for some people as well, especially in the age of take a pill and see me in the morning. Absolutely not. By the way, Michelle's eyes are doing a little bit better. She said, yes, self-hatred cannot be fixed with surgery. Absolutely not. That's the reason why I'm saying that. That's the reason I'm saying that too. Michelle's eyes, by the way, are doing a tiny bit better. Yeah, a tiny bit. I seem like I'm becoming a little bit farsighted in my right eye, but I'm starting to see a little more. Seems like it. A little more detail. I still get morning glories when I look at bright lights in my right eye, but it seems like it's getting a little bit better. Doorknobs are looking more round now when looking at them right eye. So, because of my lateral nystagmus in my eye, I cannot do surgery. There's no surgery option. There is no way a surgeon can fix the eyeball because or right eye because it goes back a little bit too fast with the lateral nystagmus. I've had some surgeons that seemed like they were willing to take the chance, and I said to them, no, absolutely not. I said, I've talked to a person who did do it, and she has issues with detached retinas, and she says, sure, they fixed my vision, but now I got my retinas floating around the aqueous humor. It's like, oh, that's really great. So they fix one problem to make another at the same time. No, thank you. I don't think I want to go through that. So surgery for my eye, like I said, is not going to happen. No, and they don't even pay for that either. No, they will. They will. You know what's funny though? Is if you ever need to go to a dentist to get your teeth cleaned, fixed, Medicare, Medicaid doesn't pay for it. But if you go to get your teeth ripped out of your mouth by an oral surgeon, they pay for that, but they won't pay for you to get your teeth cleaned so you can keep your original choppers in the first place. That's one of the stupidest things. No, I'm kidding. So, but anyway, as far as Obamacare goes, I don't know how long that the Democrats are going to continue to think that Obamacare is still working when they already can see that the number of insurance providers leaving the program is increasingly happening across state lines. Some states have no insurance providers at all on the exchanges. And then these poor people have to pay the penalties because they can't get insurance, but not because of their own fault. What a racket. Jonathan Gruber was not thinking about the American people when he created Obamacare. I'm just worried the gays and lesbians and the lesbian will become disenfranchised against Trump and Pence. Don't be. Don't, watch out for the mainstream media, because the mainstream media, especially the left mainstream media, is going to do everything they can to smear this guy. Donald Trump, so far, as I said, only had to drop the hammer with the militaries because it's really, really complicated when you have enlisted soldiers, and it's not the same thing, if the person's gay or lesbian. There are a lot of gays and lesbians who have served in the military and have done wonderful work. I do not support don't ask, don't tell. That's the way it was written. I think that is absolutely asinine, and Donald Trump doesn't either. But there's a difference between gay lesbians versus transgender trans men and women, because gay and lesbians are happy with their bodies as they are. They don't demand expensive surgery and expensive medications and hormone treatments. They're just happy being gays or being lesbians and serving in the armed forces, and that's nothing wrong with that. So I'm glad that we don't have the don't ask, don't tell bullshit anymore. And I'm sorry to see that sometimes the hermaphrodites, and yeah, I'm gonna have to listen here too, because unfortunately, if they ever saw Michelle, if she had a good sight, they probably would throw her. They probably wouldn't even accept her application, even if she had perfect eyesight. No, they wouldn't. I mean, I think that's a little sad. But at the other hand, I look at it this way: is it's quite different. So as far as the gays and lesbians go, I wouldn't really worry about that at this time. I think you can take it easy. And she says here, I don't know much about Obamacare. Well, you certainly can find out a lot about it. Officially, it's known as the Affordable Care Act. But like, as many people have said, it's anything but affordable. That's the scary thing. It's not affordable care. Barack Obama pushed it as affordable care. It isn't. Look, I priced out a couple of years ago when Obamacare started coming into existence to get the same kind of health plan I got now, Medicaid and Obamacare. Okay, it would have costed me $300 a month just to get the same coverage now, which I have, which is crap. Same deductible, same everything that I'm paying for on Medicare. That is sick. Michelle's gonna spend now, unfortunately. So And she says here, but Michele, you serve your country in other ways. Yes, everybody does. All Americans serve the countries in other ways. And our communities in other ways, too. Some of us are not comfortable being in the military, or can't be in the military because of health reasons, but we serve our country by being a beacon in the night for those who feel lost or unsure who to talk to, or maybe just need to hear a voice tonight that says, it's okay, sweetie, you don't have to worry. The big bad monster will not come up from underneath the bed. It sounds silly, but it's true. People actually need to hear that voice of confidence, the voice that says, it's okay. You can go to bed now and close your eyes. What is going to hurt you? Well, deep down, we sometimes wonder why would somebody want to physically hurt you anyway. But that's the way, it's just important. Sometimes just hearing that friendly voice is just so important for people's well-being. I've been doing these videos, as I said, for over almost 7 years. I've seen so many things. You know, when people have actually come to me, I've had people who were really distraught and felt really, really lost and turned my channel on and heard my vote of confidence, and they said, you made me feel better. Even if it's not like I can explain everything to you, but, you know, but I feel like, you know, you make me feel like I'm not so alone anymore. And that's how I help. Plus, I go out there and I'm part of the Soup Kitchen, and I'm part of the Soup Kitchen program, and speak to people at the Soup Kitchen as well. So I don't just do YouTube videos, despite what the public may say. The public may tell you I just spend my days doing YouTube videos, and that's not true. I do more than just YouTube videos. Like I'm also a very vocal, vociferous speaker on the community level as well. And I keep turning the wrong volume down. No, jeez. I got it. Okay, so, yeah, you know, I do a lot of things. And I'm productively active in the community at large. I mean, for example, do you do any special, besides teach, do you do anything to help the community that you live in, Barb? That's a good question. I mean, what do you do? I used to do a lot of YouTube videos, and unfortunately, we haven't done one on my channel lately, and I've got to get one sometime soon. Yeah, we do. We got to work on my channel. For those of you who don't know where I am, I'm on YouTube too. If you look for me, you can search for Lumi Finistra, Lumi space Finistra, and you'll see my channel. And subscribe to that as well. It says subscribe, Lumi Finistra. My script is Black Chancery. Michelle's is kind of also Black Chancery. And you can check it out that way. And I'm hoping that one day do a live stream on my channel as well, but I don't have the kind of coverage Michele does. She says I'm on several boards. Well, what kind of boards? Because I'm not actually on any board, but I'm more of a hands-on person. So when it comes to political stuff, like being a part of a board, I'm not really it. I'm more the person that says, give me the tools, give me the resources I need, and I'll do it. I'll reach out. But if you're going to ask me to sit there in a committee meeting and listen and just intellectualize or way out of my paper box, I'd rather not do that. I'd rather be on the scene and speaking for the population at large. That's just me. I like to get into, you know, the community and speak for them, as well as talk to them, not just speak at them. A lot of times, sometimes the boards do, is they're smart, they're intelligent, but unfortunately when it comes to implementing some of their ideas in some of the boards, they just kind of fail because they just can't quite crack it. So, let me see what Dory's doing right now. I'm inserting this whole one here. Dory, what are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
I wash dishes and I'm heating up supper.
Okay. You gonna put that pasta back in the oven to warm at 200?
I'm warming it up now.
What's that?
I'm warming it up now.
Okay. Yeah, because you're gonna warm it up anyway, unless you're gonna cook something else. Okay, so, and she says, Let's see. I'm on several boards. Okay. Literacy, local, gay, lesbian, newhope.org for the homeless. I speak to the homeless personally. I have been working with a couple of homeless people who have brought to me a couple of things that they noticed about the community at large. The newest person I talked to is a school teacher. She's a certified school teacher. And she's between housing right now. She's been in a homeless shelter. And she went to apply for a job at the local school system. And they turned her down, even though she had all the criterion. And she asked me, was that because I'm in a shelter? And I said, you know what the sad truth is it probably is. There's a lot of discrimination against people that are in shelters for jobs. I don't know why that is exactly. Maybe it's because they think that the people are not really too good or whatever. It sounds disgusting, and it is, because it doesn't really mean that at all. It just means it's because you've fallen behind in hard times. It doesn't mean that you're not going to necessarily show up for work or whatever. It just means that you're between homes. How are you supposed to get out of homelessness if you can't get a job to get out of homelessness? You know, it's the whole problem with this whole system is there's a lot of smart people out there, and they try hard. I try hard. You know, for example, my case, my means of working out things is to advocate for others, and also to my YouTube channel is a way that I speak to the population as well as they can speak to me. Most people don't realize that when they have these open chats like this one right now, is that we're able to talk, even if it's not necessarily speech to speech or text to text, but rather speech to text. It's because it's easier that way. And the other reason is we tried doing it with speech on speech, and we had a lot of problems with that because of the issue with some software and the feedback loops that kind of start up, and it caused a whole thing to go pear-shaped in seconds. So another person I talked to is homeless. He's homeless for a long time, and he said to me, is I'm willing to do odd jobs, but the people don't want to give me a chance to do odd jobs. But in this case, he said, I also made a mistake too, because since I don't have a timepiece, I don't know what time it is, and I unfortunately, my camera needs to be just a little bit. Not that much. No. Okay, got it. Yeah, okay, not that much. This camera Michelle has is bolted to the wall, and unfortunately, it is really, you made it too low. Yeah, tighten the screw up on this thing. Yeah, let's see that. Okay, anyway, the point here is that for this individual, he's rightfully concerned. She said, sorry, I got knocked offline. Okay, well, yeah, that happens. Okay, so Dory's going to join us again. Hold on a minute, let me turn her sound back up here. Okay, so I'm still talking to Barbara. Hi,
Barbara.
We're talking about homelessness.
Oh, I think it's homelessness is a very bad thing.
So we got 3 microphones on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now, so we can, Dory can speak from anywhere in the apartment and you'll hear it. So anyway, for all the other people, I have reminded everybody else again, I just want to make this clear. If you're trying to join us and you want to join us for chat, but you don't have any way of joining us because you do not have access to the magic software account, it's actually the stat. You have to be registered on YouTube as a username and password to join these chats. That doesn't mean that we don't want to talk to you. It means we do, but unfortunately for everybody, that means that you have to be registered to use YouTube. Once you're registered, you use YouTube, you can join these chats. Just log in with your username and password that you assign yourself, and then you can go ahead and join us on the online chats. Once you subscribe, click on the subscribe and ask you, and don't forget to click on the little bell icon so that you always be able to be kept abreast of what's going on with the community at large. And after these broadcasts are done, we still want to read your comments. So if you want to leave comments after this is done, And of course, if you have any particular topic ideas that you want to cover in the future, you certainly can do so. So many abandoned properties, commercial properties that the city could use to transition. I think what they should do in more areas is what they call urban homesteading. Since these properties are going to hell anyway, especially the ones that end up in the city controls, and Winston is full of them, it would make sense to just go ahead and offer them for a very low price, with the understanding that they'll give you like a couple of year tax break and for you to fix them up and stuff, and you agree to stay there for a period of time, and then after that you would go ahead and you can sell them whenever, but then because you'll be paying real property taxes. I think that the typical urban homesteading policy is like you gotta stay for like 30 years, but after the first 5 years they'll let you stay for free, and then after that you gotta pay regular property taxes on your property. I think that's a great idea. But the most important things too is that people need to understand is that you need to have a job. That doesn't matter if it's through urban homesteading or whatever, but especially if you're in disability, you really need to find a way to get people off the welfare dole. And I mean, I consider myself on welfare. Even though it's not, I know some people saying it's just not the same thing as able-bodied person on welfare. That may be true, but the thing is that it doesn't help our self-esteem. And if we could find a job that we could do, and it pays reasonable wages, and after all, what I'm making a month in Connecticut is barely minimum wage, full-time employment. And that's scary. So if you can manage to get help to get people off welfare doles and can show them that they want to take the responsibility of becoming a homeowner, I say, great, we should do it. Let's do it. Let's fix the problems in the community at large. And if you're going to sit there and act as if it's the worst thing since Adolf Hitler, that you're going to give somebody equivalent of introductory housing for free for 5 years with tax break, compared to what the cities and towns lose every year with no tax revenue coming in from abandoned properties, it's a hell of an improvement. Seriously. And of course it also helps to avoid the blight situation, which results in some significant issues too with communities at large, because blight is really a serious issue for the communities, because blight means that you make your cities better looking, but people will take pride in their homes. And
excuse me, I didn't interrupt, but is Barbara still on the air?
Yeah, she's still here.
Hi Barbara, this is Dory. I don't know if you can see this, but
this is your shot right there.
This is one of the rosary beads that I made. I don't know, it's hard to see, but this is one of them that I did make. It's with the little tiny little ones, and it's got a cross on the end. That's one that I did make. And the other one I gave away because she needed it. So, but this is $10. So, if you're interested.
Now, so if she's getting custom made ones, though.
I know, but I'm just letting her know that if you're interested in this one, I have this one too. I don't know if you can see it that well, but I have this one too, if you're interested. Okay? Or pass it on.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
And that shows you the beads that she's making. And she says, yes, I saw your video on your channel. Thanks. Blight is horrible here.
Huh?
I'm reading Barbara's comments.
Oh.
First she says, and she says here, so many abandoned properties, commercial properties, but the city could use some transition apartments. Barb says, all you can eat, and Habitat for Humanity can't help everybody. No, we cannot. And the Section 8 program, as in some states, is so messed up because the real estate market is corrupt as can get. I put a piece about that up on my 2017 playlist I happened to land on top of, and I thought it was fantastic to watch it. Talking about why there's so much homeless and about the abuse in the Section 8 program. It's quite amazing. And so, yes, I saw your video on your channel. Thanks. I think you're talking about Dory's video. Yes, she's hopes to do more of those videos soon. By the way, it's getting late. It's 7:06 p.m. and I think it's going to get time to wrap it up. Just tell the woman who refuses to be named that I wish her the best of luck in her recovery. I don't know exactly what happened, but I just want her to know that I am concerned about her well-being. As far as what you mentioned to me about the washing machine, yes, that is indeed the model washing machine. It's a Wonder Washer. I have to admit, it's a good machine overall. It lasts for 7 years, so I have no problems with it. So I'm hoping to buy another one in the next week or so. But then it sounds like you might be willing to buy one. I don't know if that was your intention. But if you do, let me know, because that way I don't end up buying the same machine and I'm going to end up with 2 of them, if that makes any sense. Do you want to say anything before I get ready to wrap this up for now? Because it is getting kind of late and I'm sure Dory wants to start dinner soon.
No, I'm all set, thanks.
Okay. Alright, so Dory and I are going to get ready to wrap it up. You want to say anything before we leave?
No, everybody have a good evening and God bless.
Yep. Okay, guys, that's it for now. Stay out of trouble. Okay, and she says, yes, I slotted her an hour for this. Thanks for enjoying the time. Take care, girls. I was looking forward to watching. Let me see students know. Yes, and it's great for students, too. And the price is really good. All right, guys. See you soon. Have a nice night. Bye-bye. And I gotta make sure to press the right button here. Yep.